You do the math every night. Not out loud, not on paper, just in your head, in the quiet right before sleep pulls you under. How much is in the account? How much goes out next month? How many years until you can stop? You don't even call it retirement anymore. You just call it enough. And somewhere in that quiet math, you've accepted a deal you never actually agreed to. Work hard. Save everything. Spend nothing. Die with something left. That's the plan, right? The one plan everyone acts like is obviously correct. But what if that plan is actually designed to benefit everyone except you? What if the whole framework, the 41k, the nest egg, the leave something for the kids, was built for institutions, for employers, for the government, and you just got swept along in it? That's what Die Broke cuts open. Let's start with the part that sounds wrong before it sounds right. The idea that you should die broke. Not bankrupt, not irresponsible, not homeless at 82. Die broke means something specific. It means you spent every dollar you earned on a life you actually lived. No vault of savings sitting untouched while you skip vacations in your 60s. No inheritance being held hostage by a slow decline you can't control. No waiting, no deferring, no someday. You've been told that dying with money is the goal, that the number in your account at the end is the scoreboard. But think about what that actually requires. It requires you to spend your healthiest, most capable years accumulating. It requires you to postpone the experiences, the travel, the risk, the freedom, until your body is too tired and your clock is too short to enjoy them. You're lying in bed right now in a body that can do things your 80-year-old self won't be able to do. And the conventional plan says, wait. That's not wisdom. That's waste. Waste. There's a concept buried in this book that reframes everything. Your career is over. Not your job, your career. The idea that you'd spend 30 years with one company, climb a defined ladder, and cash in a pension at the end. That world is gone. And most people are still running the software for a system that doesn't exist anymore. You've probably felt it already. The performance review that felt hollow. The promotion that came with more work and not much more meaning. The job that felt permanent until one Tuesday, it wasn't. The insight here is blunt. Loyalty in the modern economy moves in one direction, and it's not toward you. So the move isn't to invest your identity in a company, it's to invest in yourself. Skills, reputation, adaptability. Think of yourself as a free agent, someone who brings value to whoever needs it most, collects what they're worth, and stays ready to move. That shift in identity changes how you make decisions. You stop asking, will this look good to my employer, and start asking, does this make me more capable? You think about that Monday morning differently. The commute that used to feel like loyalty now feels like a choice. And choices can change. Here's where the math gets interesting. The plan has always been work, save, invest, retire, withdraw. But that sequence creates a problem most people never see until it's too late. The years when you have the most energy, you're supposed to spend saving. The years when your money peaks, you're often too tired or too sick to spend it freely. And the people who actually inherit what's left, they didn't need it when you were alive. Your kids don't need $300,000 when they're 50. They needed help with a down payment when they were 30. You think about the moments you said no, not because you couldn't afford it, but because the plan said, not yet. That trip you almost booked in your 40s. That business you almost started. The thing you wanted to do when your knees still work. The alternative isn't recklessness. It's a different allocation. Spend money when spending money does the most good. For you and for the people you love. $1 given to your daughter today is worth more than $1 in your estate at 84. Not just emotionally, mathematically. She can use it now, she can grow with it now, she can build something with it now. So what does a die-broke life actually look like in practice? It starts with 4 ideas that run counter to almost everything you've been told. Quit today, not your job, your mindset. Stop thinking about what you're building toward and start thinking about what you're building right now. It's die, pay cash, not for everything, but for the things that matter. Debt on something that goes up in value, a home, an education, can make sense. Debt on something that makes you feel temporarily better, that's borrowing from the life you're trying to build. Don't retire, keep doing something. Not because you have to, but because the research is overwhelming. People who stay engaged, stay sharp, stay curious, they live longer, they're healthier, they're happier. The goal isn't to stop working. The goal is to stop working for reasons you resent. And finally, die broke, which means the planning question isn't, how do I preserve this wealth? It's how do I deploy this wealth in a way that actually matters, not as a number you never touch, as a resource you used. Now let's talk about what you actually do differently this week. This isn't the kind of book where you finish it, nod deeply, and change nothing. Step 1. Write down the 3 things you've been putting off until later. Not the vague ones, specific ones, the trip, the pivot, the conversation, the investment in yourself. Look at that list and ask one question, if not now, when exactly. If the answer is, I don't know, that's worth sitting with. Step 2. Look at your cash flow and find where your money is dying quietly. Not the obvious waste, the creeping commitments, the subscriptions, the insurance policies from 6 years ago, the savings you haven't looked at because looking feels heavy. Redirect something, even $200 a month, toward an experience that happens in the next 90 days. Step 3. Have one financial conversation you've been avoiding. With your partner, your parents, your adult kids, your accountant. The conversation where someone says what's actually true, what you have, what you want, what you're afraid of. Most people are running a financial plan built on assumptions nobody has checked in years. Step 4. Rewrite your job title, not for your LinkedIn, for yourself. Not Senior Manager at Company X. Something like, someone who solves complex communication problems for organizations in transition. That's yours. That travels with you. That doesn't depend on the company. Here's what this all comes back to. The plan you inherited, save, sacrifice, defer, wasn't designed around your happiness. It was designed around your predictability. Keep working, keep deferring, keep spending minimally. And at the end, pass it forward so the next generation can defer again. But somewhere underneath all of it, that a life deferred isn't a life protected. It's a life postponed. The money you have right now is the most useful it will ever be. Your body right now is the most capable it may ever be. The people in your life right now are here, and that won't always be true. And the voice in your head that says, not yet, not ready, not safe enough, that voice isn't wisdom. It's habit. You don't have to blow everything and move to Bailey. You just have to stop treating your life as a rough draft for a final version that's always 5 years away. Because the final version, it's already in progress. It's right now. Spend it well